college football playoff predictions for 2025. And before I get into this, I can tell some of you are going to whine and cry already. Here's the thing about college football in 2025 and the college football playoff. How good a team is very important, but almost equally as important, their schedule. Because last year, Indiana, SMU, Tennessee, none of them were top 12 teams, but they all got to pretend to go to the playoff, and they all got to go to the playoff because their schedules were easy. Indiana beat no ranked teams. SMU had the easiest schedule in the country. Tennessee was not the third best team in the SEC, but they got to pretend to be because their schedule was so easy. So there's Nebraska and Missouri. There's some scheduled teams in here, I promise you. Number one is Clemson. They're going undefeated, and I think they're going to play for a national title. They're going to lose to Penn State, who I think is going to win the national championship. They're going to win the Big Ten. And people say, Brandon, James Franklin had won a big game, and they can't break through. They got the quarterback. They got the roster. They got a great running back room, good offensive line, good defense. They've got it this year. Guess who else hadn't broken through? Kirby Smart couldn't beat Alabama for years and years and years until they finally did it. Clemson was Clemsoning for years and years and years until they finally broke through. Brian Day couldn't beat Michigan or win a national title until he finally broke through. Nobody breaks through until they do it. I think James Franklin and Penn State do it this year. LSU wins the SEC after losing to Clemson. They go 11-1 or 10-2. They're the number 3 seed. Texas the 4. Ohio State, I don't love this year, or Oregon, but I don't see them dropping that far. Ohio State and Oregon and Georgia 5, 6, 7. I don't think any of them are as good as they've been, but they're still good enough to make this list. Go 10-2 and make this list. I got number 8 Miami. Carson Beck has gotten a raw deal. I think he's underrated. Georgia gave him no receivers. They led the country in drops last year. The running game was not very good. Kirby Smart kind of screwed him and didn't give him very much. And I think at Miami, they added a lot defensively. They brought in a bunch of transfer receivers. I think he's got a new lease on life, and he's going to be very good. Remember, I think he's got the talent to be a top 5 draft pick. Number 9, Baylor. They're going to win the Big 12. I think it's a very competitive league. It's not a very good league. They might go 9-3 or 10-2, but I think they win the league and get that spot. Nebraska. Schedule's very easy. 10-2 is on the table. They're going to beat Michigan in September, and they're going to be favored in 10 or 11 games. Schedule's easy. They're going to take that spot this year. Missouri, easy schedule in the SEC, and I like the team. I like the transfer class. UNLV, down group of 5 this year, but I like Dan Mullen a lot and the quarterbacks he's putting together. Penn State wins the national title. Your Heisman winner, Garrett Nussmeier from LSU.